Greetings, Aristotle leads the way. So I think this week's, if you had trouble with this week's homework, you are not the only one. I think there are some things that Mrs. Johnson and I need to make more clear in this first assignment, and especially because I do talk about how important this first assignment is. I think there are some things that were unclear to more than just one person, so I wanted to go over it. The first thing is that I don't think this year we had enough time for anybody to reliably get their codes. So question one of what to turn in asks for a code. Just ignore question one. And we're not, I found this out last year, that changing the code word each week doesn't really make sense. But you will get a code word for week two's homework, and where you'll get that code word is in the feedback from both week homework 0 and homework 1. I'll use the same code just to make sure you can find it. And each student will get a different code word, and the purpose of that is just to make sure that you guys are seeing the comments back on your assignments. So don't worry about that question one on this homework. Okay, so question two, and this what to turn in another thing I need to make more clear is what to turn in should reflect the work that you've already done in what to do. So basically what to do are your step-by-step things to go through the process of what to do for your homework. And then what to turn in should be a subset of what you actually did so that we can see it. So what is the story of your house should be the narrative part of this. So this goes back to in the beginning. Create a drawing or write a paragraph that tells the story of your house. How did it come to be? How did the people there come to live together in the house? Who lives there? Why? So this is a drawing or a narrative story, a paragraph, and that is question two. Okay, then question this one causes so much trouble, and I did switch between these two terms. I'm very sorry. I switched between these two terms of symbolic and logical. And a lot of people are very confused about the symbolic and logical diagram of your house. So I have an example up here, and this is an example from an architect who is actually drawing things, and this is before you lay out or you design a house. So they're saying, okay, the living room, it needs to be next to the kitchen. So these, they didn't construct a house that was made out of circular rooms, but they were trying to lay out sort of the diagram of how the spaces should be organized and what they're used for in this house. For your logical diagram, you can choose to represent any idea you want about your house. You could choose to represent your favorite rooms. So let me get paint up. Let's talk about different ways you might do that. Okay, so you could choose to represent your favorite room, and you might say, oh, my favorite room I'll make with a big star, and that's how I'll show that it is my favorite room. And then I might have my less favorite room, or maybe my least favorite room is, what would your least favorite room be? I don't know. Okay, so we'll add some sibling rivalry here. So maybe this is my brother. If I was back, my brother and I used to fight a little bit. So maybe this is my brother's bedroom, and so it's not my favorite room. And then maybe I could say, the family room is over here, right? Now you're going to have to add some text here so we can understand what's going on in this diagram, but I could make a little connection from here to here, and then I could do something that was like from here to here and put like an X in it, all sorts of different things to kind of describe different ideas about what's going on in these rooms. You might make a logical diagram that is your experience in your room. So for that, you might say, wake up in bedroom. Okay. And this might be like a flow chart through your house. So I wake up in the bedroom, and then the next thing I do is I eat breakfast in the kitchen. Eat breakfast in kitchen. Okay, and maybe I use like a step one, step through two, and I go through my whole day, and maybe at the bottom I'm still going back to the bedroom at night, and maybe the bedroom even shows up on this logical diagram, twice, so that at the bottom of the day, you know, go to sleep in bedroom. So the thing about the logical diagram is it is about ideas about what you do in your house or how you use your house or different ideas about your house. And it doesn't need to look at all like anything looks in your house. A logical diagram can convey a message to people, or a symbolic diagram with symbols or different like arrows and different things. And do give us like a little description or a title that says, like this title could be my house through a day or something. So give it a title so we understand what you're showing in your logical diagram, but it doesn't have to look like anything in the real world. And we're going to see that that's an important distinction between Aristotle and Plato as we move forward. And we're also going to see why this logical diagram will come to see Plato gets Aristotle is credited with the scientific method, but what Plato gives us in the scientific method with the logical diagrams is very, very key. So, so this will be about the idea, the use, or some idea about the house that we're supposed to do. So I am sorry that it was a bit more difficult to understand what I was asking for, and I will try to make my language more clear in the future. Okay, let me know if you have more problems or questions. Thanks very much. Bye.